Being New Earth, embodying your higher self, Chiron in Aries and Uranus in Taurus energy transmission. Aries is the I Am presence, our Kundalini life force, and when Chiron is in that energy vortex sign, we can feel awkward. We can feel that we have to wait before beginning, before trusting our inner feeling, our heart and our soul calling. That we are not perfect or advanced enough to begin, to follow our heart and share our unique gifts, talents, and abilities in service, in whichever form it is meant to be at every moment, as when we create and share from the heart, it supports all. We can also experience the feeling of not belonging, of not fitting in. Well, what if I would tell you, you do not need to fit in, because you are not meant to fit in. You are just meant to be you, the soul of you, real, vulnerable, and authentic. And yes, you belong. You belong to the one source of all, to your true self, which is truth in all beings. There is a beautiful vulnerability and sensitivity with Chiron in Aries, as it brings a softening into our being and dissolution of the concept illusion that we are separate, as we allow our soul self to blossom forth within every cell of our being, leading us within the manifested reality of form to simply be and co-create when guided. This energy is truly assisting us individually and collectively to come from our true nature, the I Am, which is soft, wise, peaceful, which remembers its unity and oneness with all. In that frequency space, we can create and co-create in the flow, free from any sense of I, which only springs from the mind, allowing the one soul to be and to express within our being. And that is a process which is required on the awakening and integration journey on our spiritual path. It can feel overwhelming at times as we know, feel, and recognize that the One is within all beings and things. There is no separation between the one source and the manifested reality of form. Thus, the way forward is that the perceived limited self has to dissolve back into its oneness and infinity, which in truth never left. It is simply a misperception, a veil, which is lifting as one awakens in consciousness, as one remembers. This is a journey of self-acceptance, of trust, of listening, allowing, and surrendering. There is no I, there is only the One which is nameless in truth. This is what we come to realize, remember, along the way. In this vibration, one experiences reality through the eyes of the soul, which sees through the spiritual eye and the heart. There is nothing more beautiful than. It is all beauty. It is all perfection. It is all one. A flow of divinity which is beyond reality. This is a realization that is key on one's awakening remembering path. All that was known to the limited self is dissolving into that awareness, and it can feel as if there is no ground which actually is true. The ground becomes the I Am, the pure conscious awareness, awareness becoming aware of itself. Yet that does not imply one does not feel grounded in one's body. Yet at times, heightened spiritual energies can make one feel out of body. It is part of the self-mastery, being able to feel grounded in the body as oneness, to be infinity in a finite form. This is what Uranus, now in Taurus for the next 7 years, is assisting us with. To ground what has no ground, to ground those higher frequencies within the physical body vessel, and thus we must peel the denser layers so our crystalline body of light can inhabit our physical vessel. It is happening in and of itself. What we need is to trust and surrender to this inner process, to allow our heightened sensitivity to guide us in each moment, to become increasingly aware of our inner being and physicality without feeling limited or bound by it. In other words, to transcend whilst remaining embodied. Sounds easy, right? Well, this is the process of ascension in the body. It has its challenges, that is certain, and it is the process we're going through, individually and collectively. Uranus is the awakener, the energy vortex that brings about the higher frequencies of New Earth, of what is also called the Sixth Golden Age. And in the sign of Taurus, it is assisting us to build the new Earth from within, letting go of the old operating system for the new one. In this process, the energy of Taurus, which is known to be slow, are being merged with the energies of Uranus, which knows no time, which is the quantum field of the ever-expanding now and infinite possibilities. This is a perfect combination to assist us with quantum leaps in consciousness and manifestation, as Taurus is about building, manifesting in form, whilst allowing us to stay grounded in our body vessel. Our body is receiving upgrades, and in the future we will no longer rely on the resources that we used to rely on to sustain ourselves and blossom on the old earth paradigm. As an example, pranic living, a so-called breatharianism, will become normal, which is to be sustained by prana, or life force, connected to the source rather than food. This is simply an evolutionary step as we anchor the light body in the physical. Many of you likely experience physical body transformation, change of diets, spiritual practices, and daily activities, which is all part of this awakening, upgrading, anchoring process. A potent spiritual practice and cleansing process can be achieved through fasting, either intermittent or in longer fast. Trust your inner guidance as what feels right in the moment. It is a refinement of our earthly bodies so we can host our light body with ease. It is also bringing forth the energy of self-reliance and wholeness. As all is within, it is part of the evolution of humanity to ultimate freedom and wholeness. Potent ways to feel grounded in the body. Dance, yoga. Yin yoga is excellent to slow and relax the system if you feel over-energized or overwhelmed. Tai Chi, Qigong, silence, contemplation, breath awareness. If your Kundalini is rather active, I suggest to avoid any stimulating breath work or yoga, as you would need a more soothing and calming approach. Doing something manual which brings you into the moment, connecting with another, walks in nature, and foods that feel grounding to your inner being. If you feel energized and a sense of heart expansion, it means it is good for you. If you feel low or tension, contraction in any way, it means it is not supportive to your overall energy system and thus well-being. It is all part of the refinement process. It is important to stay tuned to your inner frequency so you can adjust accordingly when needed. This will assist in letting go of habits, foods, routines, ways of being that are no longer in resonance with your energy and thus assisting you in higher self-embodiment. Timeline shifts with vibrational shifts can be experienced daily until we can anchor steadily into the new earth frequencies of the I Am. As we continue to raise and anchor, ground our higher self vibration, this process happens. At times it can get intense, but as you continue to awaken and peel the layers of illusion, you can relax and soften into this unfolding inner process, and you can trust it, knowing that it is meant to free you from all that is not real. In this process, time in contemplation and aloneness will allow a slow down, a coming home, a centering, so you can perceive, sense, feel, and know what is happening within you, and thus act accordingly. When you feel that things are spinning around you, it is likely something within is happening, and bringing conscious awareness, I Am presence to it, will assist you to transform and integrate it, thus receiving the true empowerment and wisdom from it. I also wish to add that it can also be that you have picked up dissonant frequencies, and thus retreating and clearing is needed. This is key as an empath. This is why being with yourself is important, so you can know your energy and feel when you have picked up another energy in your field. It is all about self-awareness. It is not good or bad. It is simply awareness and frequency. Know thyself. Chiron in Aries can make us feel inadequate, highly sensitive as mentioned above. Yet all those are gifts, as you are not meant to fit and you are meant to feel. It is just a matter of knowing how to balance and master your own energy in every moment so you can flow with ease and grace in this manifested reality. Though for many of us, our soul is asked to be in solitude, meaning our soul needs aloneness, self-care, space, so we can feel ourselves, our own energy, and we can emit from that clear inner space being. Many of us get easily overwhelmed by places, people that might feel denser, and it is key to honor the way you feel without judgment on self or others. It is just energy and self-awareness. It is our responsibility to know and feel what aligns with our inner being. Our soul is here to bring about the future. Therefore, we do not fit with the old frequency, and this is why you will always feel so sensitive as empath in denser frequencies. It is a gift from your future self, which would be wise to continue to nurture and fully embrace so it can truly become a blessing and a strength. It is all part of the process of awakening, and as the collective vibration continues to rise, and the new earth is being remembered and built from within us and as a collective, everything will continue to lift in vibration, and we will feel more home on this planet, though we might never really feel that feeling fully, and it is okay. I feel it is more about accepting the way things are, and knowing, remembering why we have come, and knowing in our hearts that we knew it would not always be easy and comfortable energetically. Trust your feelings. We are the ones that come from the future vibrationally, and thus in the anchoring process, we must remember that we need to let go, transmute the old earth energies within our cellular memory, DNA, so we can embody our I Am presence, our true self, thus sharing and contributing this vibration with all in our oneness. Just being here is a contribution to the all. And in the process, meet any inner resistance with love and compassion. It is part of the journey, and this will continue to open your heart, embracing all facets of the one within you and the reflected manifested reality. This, in and of itself, is freeing and liberating. This energy can also bring a sense of frustration, as the limited self always believes that one has to do something rather than just be. We are energy at the core, and the I am simply is. That does not mean creation through creativity will not occur. It will in the creative flow of your I am, of your heart. This energy is really about a softening, a trusting, a flowing force, so source energy can express in its truest form through our individual form, and thus in oneness. It is an awakening to our own infinite potential. The concept of I have to do something falls away and is replaced by the beingness which knows and flows in the moment, in perfect harmony with the all, and that is creation. We are to allow that flow until we fully become it. So allow all that arises with no attachment and judgment, completely embracing the experience without identification, and in that presence, ultimate freedom is experienced, which is the quintessential energy of Aries. Being New Earth is a complete paradigm shift where the old program won't do. Our I Am presence has been and is very active to assist this inner integration process so we can walk and embody our true self, to continue to raise the frequency of humanity, and together co-create as a frequency vibration the experience of 5D New Earth, of love, unity consciousness, freedom, self-mastery, and enlightenment. Allow and trust the process in the flow and in the moment, which is the only moment that exists.